In this video, we'll be solving another problem from LeetCode. The problem is called customer who visited but did not make any transactions. So we are given a table visits, and in that we have visit ID and a customer ID. And then we have transactions table. In that we have transaction ID, visit ID and the amount. So we have to write a solution to find the IDs of the users who visited without making any transactions and the number of times they made these type of visits. So we have to count the number of times they visited but did not make any transaction. So we have to return the result table sorted in any order. So let's take a look at the example. We have visits table, we have visit ID, customer ID. Visit ID is the primary key for this table. Then we have transactions table, transaction ID, visit ID and the amount. And the output that we want is customer ID and count number of transactions. So we can go through the explanation. So as you can see, customer with ID 23. So customer ID 23 here. The visit ID is 1. Visit ID is 1. So that means he has made one transaction and as you can see 23 is appearing once inside the visits table. So that means he has visited only once and made one transaction. So visited them all once and made one transaction during the visit with ID equal to 12. Transaction ID equal to 12. Now with customer with ID 9. So this customer with ID 9 has visited them all once because we just have 1 9 in the visits table. And did he make any transaction? So let's see. Visit ID is 2 and we can see 2 in the transaction table. So that means he visited them all once and made one transaction during the visit with ID 13. Now customer with ID 30. So this is the customer. So how many times he has visited them all? As you can see, 30 is appearing once only. So he visited them all once. But did he make any transactions? Let's see. So visit ID is 4 and we don't see 4 visit ID in the visit ID column. So that means he has not made any transaction. So it says he visited the mall once but did not make any transaction. Now let's see customer with ID equal to 54. So customer with ID 54. So as you can see, it is appearing 3 times. So that means he has visited the mall 3 times with visit ID 5, 7 and 8. But as you can see here, among 5, 7 and 8 visit IDs, only 5 visit IDs present 3 times. Right. So it says customer with ID 54 visited the mall 3 times because 54 is appearing thrice in the visits table. During 2 visits, he did not make any transaction. And during 1 visit, that is with visit ID 5, he made 3 transactions. But 7 and 8, these 2 visits, he did not make any transaction. So if we look at the output, 54 customer ID, he visited the mall 3 times, but on 2 occasions he did not make any transaction, that is 7 and 8. Customer ID 30, he visited the mall once, but this 4 is not present and hence we can say that he did not make any transaction. So we have count 1. 96. Similarly, customer ID 96, as you can see, he visited the mall once because it is appearing once only, and visit ID 6 is not present in the transactions table. That means he did not make any transaction. So that means 1. So how can we solve that? So first of all, as you can see, this is the visits table and this is the transactions table. First of all, we'll try to get the customer IDs. in this, and we'll do a join actually, and we'll figure out the customer ID and the transaction ID. So let's try to do a join first. Select from visits, let's call it V, join transactions, let's call it T, on V dot visit ID is equal to T dot transaction ID. Okay, now what kind of join you would like to perform here? So what we will do is we'll perform a left join, because we want those people as well who has made the visit but did not make any transactions. So we'll do a left join, because it is possible, like 30, this visit ID is not present here, right? But we want this in the output because he did not make any transaction but he visited the mall once. So now we will do a left join and we will do a select v dot customer ID, and we will pick transaction ID from transactions table. Now let's run this. Something is missing, T dot transaction ID. Let me run this again. Okay, sorry, this will be T dot visit ID. Sorry for that. Let me run it again. Now this is the output that we have got from our query. So as you can see here, this customer ID has made a transaction, so we'll not pick this record. So we'll pick only those records for which the transaction ID is null. As you can see here, 30, transaction ID is null, and if we take a count, so this will come out to be 1. So 54, so 54 has made transactions with transaction ID 239, so we'll not pick this, but we will pick this, and the count will be 2, because 2 times he has visited but he did not make any transactions. This 54, so we are, as you know, as you can see here, we are doing a join on visit ID, right? So visit ID 5, this is 54, and 54 is coming how many times? It is coming 5 times, but this 3 times with transaction it is coming from visit ID 5. And if we do a join 5 of 5, we'll get 2. This 5 will be matched with this 5, so we'll get 3, and this 5 will match with 5, so we'll get 9. So that's why we are getting 2, 3 and 9. But we have to find the number of visits in which he has not made any transaction. So as you can see here, 7 and 8. These are the visit IDs for customer ID 54, and 7 and 8 are not present in the transactions table, and that's why it is coming here, it is coming as null and null. So now what we will do is, first of all, we'll filter this table. We'll put a where condition, where T dot transaction ID is null. Now let's run this again. So now we got these records. Now what we will do is we'll simply do a count. So if we do a group by on customer ID and take a count, this will come out to be 1. So 30 is 1, 96 will come out to be 1, this will be 1, and for 54 we'll get 2 transactions, 2 visits in which he did not make any transaction. So now let's do that as well. Let's call this count star as count number trans. Now let's run this. there is some problem. Okay, I forgot to do a group by customer ID, and we'll pick this from visits table. Now let's run this again, and it is accepted. Now let's submit the solution. And it passed. So I hope you guys understood how we solved this problem. But still, if you have any doubts, you can post them in the comment section and I will try to resolve them. Thank you.